Take two, because take one got messed up. So, topic of the day is how do civil wars start? Back in the day when I was in OCS, a long time ago, early to mid 90s, the cadre there, I overheard two of them talking, two butter bar LTs. They were talking about R2, American Revolution 2. Even back then they had a name for it. So how does it begin? We have the left, and we have the right. It begins by no one talking to each other anymore. Civil discourse is no longer possible. You can't convince either side that they are right or wrong, or that anything the other side has to say has any merit. Communications break down. People get frustrated. Things start going sideways. I've heard it said, and I think it's pretty good, that, and I believe it too, that it will not be started by the right. The right has too much to lose. The left is a bunch of losers, you could say. At least the radicals are. So you have out here a spectrum of people all throughout the society. At the very end, you have 1% of the population. They're your radicals. They are the extreme left, the extreme right. And then right about here, you have another set of radicals at about 4%. Another 3% of the population. But together those two make 4% of the population. These guys are idealistically or ideologically the same as the 1%ers, but they don't do anything. These guys do things. These guys do things. These guys are ideologically the same, but they don't do anything. Here, primarily on this side, you have sheeple. Ah. They go bah, but they don't do anything. They just kind of stand around and they go where the crowd goes, never making any waves. Over on this side, you have what I call stupid masses. These are people too dumb to look anything up for themselves. They just listen to the talking heads. These guys are pretty much guilty of that too. And they're somewhere along the spectrum in here towards the middle, somewhere in the spectrum here towards the middle. So what happens is, something happens that this side doesn't like. Let's say an election. They don't like the election. So the 1% here, they do something. But they don't do it to this percentage because this percentage will do it back. These people would probably do it back too. Not as readily as these guys though. So you leave them alone. No, they do it to these people. They burn their towns, or they go out to the suburbs and cause all kinds of havoc. So then these people, now we're not talking chats, we're talking something serious. And that causes these people to do something here. That causes this 4%, 3% actually, to push here, and now it becomes 4%. And that also causes this 3% to push here and become 4%. It only takes between 1 and 3% of a population to cause a successful revolution. 1 to 3 people out of every 100 decides something's not going to be that way, and they're willing to act upon it. They can move the society. They can topple a government. They can stop food shipments. They can take down power plants. They can make life hell for whichever side. And they can stop things from happening. So now these guys get into it, and they're going back and forth and back and forth. And that causes this section of people to move here. The stupid masses. And that causes this part of the people to move here. The sheeple. Both these groups, the 4%, prey upon this section, and these prey upon this section. But they will also prey upon their own. This side will do it more, and they do it because of resources. Or these people are not doing enough to help with the cause. That, my friends, is how a revolution happens. It only takes 1% to start it. This side here, these two units here, get pushed to the edges, the left or the right extremisms. Those 3 to 4% together start making the entire board move. No one sits on the fence. No one. You fall on one side or the other. There's no such thing as neutral. If you declare neutrality, both sides eat you. As for me and my house, we will stand with the Lord. But get your house in order, because this is coming. This is coming. Recent polls have put the number at 67% of the American population that believes that this is going to happen soon. It's on the near horizon. You are going to need resources. Food, shelter, clothing, whatever it is. Because that stuff's no longer going to be available. Because these guys are going to be preying upon all of it. And these guys are going to be preying upon all of it to get resources, to fund their causes. Best way to not get swept up in all of it is to not be in the way. Figure out which side of this fence you're on and work your plan. God bless you all. Take care.